Yeah, I dig it. Okay. We're gonna work with it today. So it's a brand new tripod. I broke my other tripod. I don't want to talk about it. I need a lot more super glue. But welcome, welcome, welcome. We are doing tarot for the release for the full moon. It is on the 20th. It is in Aries. So that's fun. And we're still in a Sun Libra, so we're still doing a lot of balancing work. So Aries is very self-serving. Aries is really all about themselves. They love themselves. It's great. I love that Aries energy. I love how they will go out and get what they want. But Libra is all about relationships. Yeah, do you see this conflict here? So they're coming conjunct, so we're really starting to see where in relationships we need to balance. So it's like when we need to give time to self versus when we need to be a part of the community, and then also seeing our part in the community. We're also going to see a lot of miscommunications, frustrations, anger. Aries holds a lot of fire. So if you want to think of like purifying flame, that's what I really like to think of with any of our fire elements when they come in. Sagittarius is a little more like optimistic fire, like happy fire. Whereas Aries is ruled by Mars, which is the planet of war. So if you want to put that all into perspective, yeah. Skies in evergreen trees. I'm going out west to sea. So we have earth, fire, water, air. So I want you to take a second, tap into your intuition. I'm gonna run and go grab my cup of coffee. So again, you can go off of your element, or you can go off which deck feels more calling to you, okay guys? Whichever one. So we're gonna tap into a brief meditation before we start, because I'm a dummy. And the spread we're gonna use today is all about that full moon. So this is gonna help you kind of direct where you need to be focusing that release, what you need to be focusing on with this full moon. So this is really good paired with any ritual or intentional work that you'll do around that full moon. So just keep this in mind for the next couple days as we start to transition. All right, it's time to focus on our breath. Focus on the inhale in, calling all your energy to you, and the exhale out, releasing, letting go. And I want you to picture a yellow or golden light surrounding you, raining down on you. Getting intimate in this moment with yourself, feeling protected. Now feeling into that root chakra, the tailbone on the chair or the feet on the ground. Starting to feel rooted in this moment. And with your exhale, really releasing down. Letting go, giving to Mama Earth whatever it is that is not yours to carry, letting her recycle the energy. And then feeling into our hearts, opening that up, and in order to receive the messages that we need today with your inhale, tapping on line, and exhale, releasing anything that is in our heart that is not meant to be there. Heartache that we're holding on to, past judgment, things that will cloud our vision. And then feeling into that third eye, that intuition, that inner wisdom. Tapping on line with your breath in. Letting go and releasing with your breath out. And then the third, or the crown chakra, right above the head. Breathing life into that area. And then releasing, letting go of anything that is blocking you from Shakti, source energy, your higher power, your higher consciousness. And then whenever you're ready, opening your eyes and looking at those decks one more time and deciding which deck is more calling. And so we're going to do deck 1, deck 2, deck 3, deck 4. I feel like that's the order that we're going in right now. So we're going to start with white, then blue. Alright, so our first deck is our white deck. This is our air deck as well. So any Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. Or if you just felt more called to use this deck today. So definitely diving into some relationships right now. Some balance when it comes to giving to others and giving to self. So the way that we have this spread laid out is we have what is needing to be released when it comes to relationship dynamics in our life. How can we focus on the balance? So this is releasing, and this is what we're kind of replacing it with. It's not really an intention, but whenever we're releasing something, we need kind of an action to help us with that release. So releasing conflict with our relationships and how to focus on self a little bit more in a divine way, okay? And then we have what our anger, our frustration, the things, those feelings right now are trying to tell us. So these are the feelings that are coming up from the depths. So this also does not have to be just anger or frustration. This can also be sadness. This could be depression. This could be whatever, okay? And this is how to kind of release as well, because what's coming up for you in the depths is normally something that's wrong that we need to release. So this is the card, the advice card for that, and this is supposed to be like the main kind of theme, the balance piece of everything, what we're really focusing on and why we should be releasing these things. So it's kind of like an advice card, if you want to say. Okay, let's get into this. So the first thing we got is the 5 of Wands, and this is kind of our dynamic in relationships right now, what's going on. And the 5 of Wands is normally a lot of chaos. We have other people's opinions, bashing everyone against each other. There's a lot of different things going on. There's a lot of fighting, a lot of chaos. When we're talking about Wands, we're talking about desires. We're talking about passions. So when people have opinions, it is their passion. It is their desires. That's what's going on. We're in a reversal here. So this kind of tells me a little bit of maybe a shift in perspective of what is going on. a letting go of some chaos in relationships, letting go of other people's opinions of things, letting go of the battle. This can also be very significant to your own mental health. So what is going on in that mental realms? Is there a lot of chaos? Also, how are you utilizing fire? How are you utilizing your passions? Are you letting it kind of destroy you in your own mind? Or are you going with the flow of it? Are you letting it light you the fuck up? So when it comes to relationships here, the main feel that I'm getting from this is really working on changing your perspective about your own passions and the people around you, and quit giving a fuck so much what they think about it, and holding your passions at a higher level. And that comes with the Ace of Wands right here. So the advice on how to focus on self, how to focus on that balance. So the Ace is the beginning of things. Wands, again, are our desires. So there's something new that you're wanting to start, and there are just a lot of people that have a lot of fucking things to say about it, whether that's physically or like in your mind. I'm not quite sure there, but there's a lot of like, either you're holding people's opinions too much, or you have a lot of people around you that have a lot of fucking opinions, and they need to quiet. They need to quiet. Like they don't need to be held so highly, because there's something new coming in for you, and I see that. And maybe you already know this too. I feel like a couple people already know this, that they are like having to let go of a lot of chaos and really take on this new thing. Because this new thing, what's going to happen with this new thing is a lot of contentment. It's going to come with, like, look at her. She's just chilling. She got her wand flower. There's like life coming from everything. You know, there's life. There's a lot of life. So it's like, you know that you have to go forth with this new desire. You know you have to. You know you have to. I think you already know that you need to walk away from the chaos. Either in your mind or because of other people. One of the two. All right, let's look at what is the frustration and the anger trying to show you. The Tower. So the Tower is a lot of change. It's a lot of transformation. Normally it comes in when we are, it's like shit's going to be rocked. Like shit's going to be rocked. And it's going to be something that you can't really control, but you're trying. You're trying. And that's why you're so frustrated. That is why you're so angry, and why you're so frustrated is because I don't think you're really expressing your desires and what you're wanting correctly, because I think you're trying to avoid a lot of chaotic people, but also B, because you're not trying to make that move. Like, you're trying to make it stop. You're like, no, I don't want things to change. Like, I don't want to move into fall in my life. I don't want to do this. Like, but you're gonna have to, because the Tower is not something you can stop unless you want to stay in this space forever, which is this chaos, this just chaotic mind, a lot of just fighting, a lot of all the time. You're gonna have to let this Tower moment happen. Tower moments can be really hard, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. They can be really, 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 really hard, but know that they are here for your greatest good. They are here for your greatest good, because sometimes we can't make the choices or the changes that we need to in our life, and the universe has to come and shake us the fuck up so that we have the strength to move forward. Okay? So painful, but very good. It also means that, like, not the whole foundation is bad. Sometimes the Tower moment has to happen to, like, realign everything. Like, it kills everything down to the foundation, and then you're left with the basics. Like, when I was getting clean, a lot of people would tell me, like, stick with the basics. Like, keep it simple, stupid, you know? And that's kind of what the Tower moment is about. It's, like, coming back to the basics. And then we have the Strength card, which is the advice on how to release some of this shit. Strength right here is we have a woman that is, and she's like a majestic fucking woman, and this majestic lion, and she's like holding the mouth of the lion. So here, strength represents you really showing your strength in this situation by letting this Tower moment happen. But I don't think it's strength in the way that we all think about it. I think it's strength in the feminine way. Like, it's showing how you can flow and how you can stay compassionate, and you can stay you could stay that divine feminine even in the face of chaos, even in the face of all of this blah over here, all of this like mental clatter, and that you can also hold divine grace and ease and compassion even in tower moments. Even when everything is changing around you and transforming around you, you can still hold space for yourself. And that is where the real strength lies, is really holding space for your emotions and letting things in. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles in the middle, which is like the advice column. This is why we're doing the releasing, and this is beautiful. Nine of Pentacles. So 9, I always like to associate with being on cloud 9. Pentacles are a lot of financial gain, a lot of stability. So here is you coming into this. You're letting go of things. You're holding space for your emotions. You're holding space for the change and the lion that's roaring within you. Because I feel like this also has to do a lot with this frustration and anger, this Aries, like you really holding space for that. And you actually taking note of it. Because I'm getting kind of a channel I fucking hate saying that because it sounds so silly, but what else is it called? I'm getting kind of a channeled message that's like, you need to start looking at your anger and your frustration and what it is trying to tell you, because it is trying to tell you something, and it's trying to show you situations and people that are not in complete alignment, or you need some perception shifting around, and that's what's going on here. So if you hold space for all of that, you're actually going to find that you have more stability in the forefront of things, that you actually have more wealth, that you're bringing in more physical things, like even material things I'm hearing. Like, yeah, you're just going to have more abundance, man. Just more abundance is on offer if you can really sit with these emotions and really start to look at what needs to be like let the fuck go of. And I would start with your anger and your frustration. I would start right there. Or I'd start with your mental chaos. Like, what is feedback looping in your mind right now? Because you have abundance on offer, and you need to start accepting it. And then on the bottom of the card was that Lover's card. That's why I think you're reevaluating what your passions are, what your desires are, what lights you up. With that Ace of Wands, you know, following what lights you the fuck up. Instead of staying in situations that bring you so much blah. Like, you deserve to be a part of things. And I feel like this is like the Lovers, yes, it's relationships with other people, but this could also be like a business thing. This could be a job. This could be, you know, like maybe some sort of project you're doing with other people. Or this could be, you know, like I said, a relationship, or a friendship, or can we get an advice card, please, for our air elements, or the deck 1 people, our air or our white? Wow, you guys are kind of a little bit hard to get something for today. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm air and I don't. I'm having a hard time. Yeah, work through your fears. Work through your fears. Because I think you're a little bit fearful to let this change happen, this change come in. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. If you chose deck 2, or if this deck feels calling to you, this is also our water people. So we got our Scorpios, our Pisces, and our Cancers. So if you are one of those 3 elements, this reading is for you. Or if you just feel called to this lovely blue deck, the spiral deck. Alrighty. Alrighty, let me see what's on the bottom of the deck here. We got some shadow work going on, definitely around your confidence. Ooh, and traditions. The Hierophant on the bottom of the deck. This is a beautiful fucking deck, guys. I love this deck. Alright, so our first card is about our relationships with other people, with businesses, with whatever you are involved with, family members. just relationships. So 9 of Swords, this is what we're releasing in relationships, what our relationship balance looks like, if we're giving too much kind of thing. 9 of Swords is being trapped. Swords are all about a lot of communication, logic, a lot of air elements, but it's also about cutting away the bullshit in our life. They're normally very chaotic times in our life. They are times of just like bleh, you know? So this woman, she is tied up. It looks like she hasn't been able to like express herself fully is what I'm feeling from this. And then we have this yellow and red blanket below her, which I feel like is very solar plexus root chakra. So just feeling very like unstable, underconfidence, like not being able to really rise. Normally when our throat chakra looks like that, when it's all plugged up like that, we can't ground and we can't connect to our confidence because we're stuck up in our heads is where that energy normally goes. So that's kind of what I'm feeling right now, is a lot of like just feeling trapped within your relationships, guys, like really feeling like you can't communicate, feeling like it's really hard for you to express yourselves, but you've been on a journey. So this is the 9. So 10 is completion, and we only have Ace through 10 in the minor. So you are like coming up to a place of about to let something go. Like you're about to let something go because you have wound yourself up so tight. You can't express yourself, you can't talk right now about it. It's coming to a head. The only person, and I want you to know this, the only person that can free you from this is you. The only person. Okay, whether that's walking away, whether that's, you know, taking the swords that are behind you and cutting loose and actually expressing yourself, but don't blame anyone else. Don't play the blame game, because if you're sitting there blaming the person that makes you feel like this, that makes you feel like you can't express yourself, you're not going to get anywhere. Okay, I want you to take responsibility right now and be like, I have the power to heal my throat chakra and learn how to communicate and express myself in this moment. Okay? All right, so below that is how to focus on yourself, which is the Princess of Pentacles. In a reversal. Let me feel into this a little bit. Yeah, okay, so I'm feeling like this is kind of the opposite way, like this way, like these cards are talking to you guys, and these guys are the reversals, instead of talking to me. So that's how I'm going to read this. This card still stays the same. This could just be a lot of you guys are actually taking that step, that are actually freeing themselves from their bounds and actually working actively to heal their throat chakra. Okay, that's the only like thing I'm going to say about that, because, yeah, anyway. So, Princess Pentacles. Princesses are just like the pages. So they bring in a lot of new information. But this card is supposed to represent how you are taking care of yourself in this moment. How you need to start taking care of yourself and bringing that Aries energy inwards. And this is really like feeling into the ground, feeling rooted in things. I feel a lot of gratitude, a lot of abundance for the things that are around you and the things that are going right. Because I feel like if you are living in more of a gratitude state of mind, expressing yourself is going to be a little bit easier, because you're going to see how divinely taken care of you actually are. And it's not going to be so scary to actually express who you are, because you are seeing just like how much support and love you have around you. Also, the Princess of Pentacles, like the princess is seeing yourself for truly what you are. You are turning into this queen or this king of your physical realm. Like you are taking control of your own creations, and you know that by taking care of the inner world, by like freeing yourself and learning to express yourselves, you can step into more power into the physical world. So pretty much your advice here is to stay in the present moment and really start to be grateful for the things that are around you, that are coming in. And then stay grounded, maybe go out in nature. I know it's getting kind of cold now, but maybe go for a drive, or go, you know, sit out by a tree, or do something to where you can get your feet on the ground and you can ground down, because that's really going to help you again with this throat chakra, because you're trying to unclog and move that energy downward. Okay. Then we have the Star in a reversal, which is our card of what we should release, or what our frustration and anger is trying to show us so that we can release. So the Star in the reversal, your anger and your frustration right now is because you do not put yourself first. You do not follow your own guidance. Just like I was talking to the air people, water people are very, very similar. You value other people's opinions, you value other people, and you want them in your life, and you want to create this kind of like safe place for everyone to be, but you give away your power sometimes when you do that. You haven't learned the art of boundaries yet, and I think that's what you're kind of learning now. You're learning now that people can get you into an energetic bind if you're not careful, and you need to be around good people. You need to be around people that are going to help you unravel things instead of ravel things up for you. And that you also need to follow your own opinion. You need to follow your own North Star. Like, you are the director of your life, and you can tap into your own flow with your own water. You see that? And really direct the tides of your own river. And also, this is also like, start getting in touch with your emotions more. Like, start really feeling into them and asking yourself how you are doing. How do I feel today? Because the thing is that you're getting a lot of messaging in those emotions. You're doing a lot of shadow work right now. So it's like you really need to start feeling into like how people and things are making you feel. And then we have the Seven of Wands above that, which is all about it's like fighting things off. And this is the advice on how to release some of this stuff that's coming up with your frustration, your anger. And it's like fucking putting your boundaries up and fighting for what you want and fighting for what's right. Using that third throat chakra, that fifth chakra right there. Really expressing yourselves and being like, no, like this isn't what I want. I want to be pretty in a field. I don't want to be fucking tied up in a fucking and bound. You know, like really expressing how you want relationships or how you want your life to look, because you're allowed. Like, you're allowed to have good things. You're allowed to want more than what you have now. You're allowed. But you have to stay great in an attitude of gratitude almost, and not so much focus on all the things that are going wrong, and focus more on all the things that are going right, so that you can attract more of that in. And then expressing when things do go wrong, and expressing like, I don't like that type of shit. Okay? Fighting for what's right. And then 8 of Cups. So this is the story of Persephone at the windowsill, and she is looking out into the darkness, the underworld. She has 7 cups over here, and the 8th one she is on the hunt for. So this is a lot about shadow work. It's about going into our own underworlds, going into our own emotions, looking for that last missing piece of things. I feel like you are searching for that right now. You're searching for that last piece to come into play. Or that last shift in perspective for you to really get things. It's not like you're at the beginning of this journey or anything like that. You're at like the very end of really believing in yourself and really setting boundaries and coming into who you are supposed to be. So it's not like you have a really long journey to do, okay? You're almost there. You just need to start digging into the depths and really figuring out what's in there so that you can really express that. Because I think that's the thing that's going on right here, is you are all choked up and you cannot express it. So sitting with yourself, giving yourself some time, really feeling into gratitude, and then going into your depths to do the shadow work is really going to help you out. And then the harem on the bottom, again, is traditions, really going through and coming up with new value system, new traditions, bringing spiritual hunches into the physical world. So really following your intuition, following your guide, following your own guide. Okay? I hope that made sense. Let's get an advice card for my water people, or for my deck 2 people. Let's get a moon card or an advice card. Thank you. Nothing is yet set in stone. So yeah, that's why expressing your emotions right now in whatever the situation is really going to help you, because nothing is yet set in stone. So you can still change the outcome of things. You still have power and control here. Yes. Okay, cool. So that was my deck 2, people, my water people. I hope that resonated with somebody. Yeah, like focus on your craft right now. Look at that. Be patient about like send out your desires and be patient, and you will get what you want. Don't know who that was for, but that was for somebody. Yay. Okay, so let's get into our fire signs. So this is for my Aries, my Sages, and my Leos. Or if you just feel more called to this stoner deck. Alright, so what do we got for our fire signs? Alright, so my fire signs are definitely talking about some rebalance here. We also have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of wands. Is this 7? 6? No, I'm stupid. I'm sorry, guys. This is 8. 8 of wands. Oh, I love this 8 of wands, though. Like, all of these wands are just, like, chilling, you know, by the stairs. They're, like, kind of like her little protector right there. But then she has one wand on fire. And there's, like, all this greenery coming from it. It's, like, time to take off the mask is what I'm hearing. Like, it's time to re-enter the world. Man, you guys are going through a lot of shadow work, too. So we got the moon in here, which is another key to me that we're going through some shadow work. We got some swords in here. We got some desires with our wands. We got some cups and some pentacles. So our moon is our major right now, so I just want to touch on that a little bit. And the moon is when we are going through a process of lighting up our darkness. The moon is a reflector light, so it only reflects the sunlight, and it's, yeah, right? I love this deck. But it's only a reflector of the light from the sun. So sometimes you don't see things right when we're in shadow work, when we're in the moonlight or we're in a moonlight season. We're seeing the shadows, we're seeing the depths, we're seeing the darkness, the realms of things. So just always be aware of that. When you're getting a moon card or something like that, like your perception or you are being deceived pretty much right now. Like your perception is just not correct right now. There's some delusions happening. Something's going on there within your realms, but we're going to get into that in a second. Let's start here. So we have the 8 of Cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, this doesn't have numbers on it. So yeah, we have the 8 of Cups, which again, that's another shadow work card. Whoo! Really diving into the depths. All right, so you have some relationships right now that I feel like are bringing up some pretty heavy emotions for you. Whether these are good emotions or negative emotions, I'm not sure. I'm just feeling very, very heavy about it. She kind of doesn't want to look at them. You can see that she's like, nah. Like, I'm just not even going to look at that. And she has like half of them that are like in a pyramid, but then she has some like other ones just kind of like straying around, you know, and she's just like, yeah, no, I don't have time for that shit right now. I don't have time to dig into my emotions. Yeah, so I just feel like some relationships are bringing up some shit you do not want to look at right now. Or even emotions that you just do not want. Like, you're just like, ugh, I don't even think I want this, though, man. Like, I don't know why this is coming up for me. Like, fuck. This is some weird-ass shit. So, I feel like, I'm sorry, I'm cussing a lot in this one, too. So, I feel like there's just some stuff that's coming up in your emotion, or in your emotional realms with your relationships where you're just feeling like, I don't got time for that. I don't want to deal with that. That's not my shit. Like, holy fuck. But I think some of it is. I think there's a deeper meaning to that and why that shit is coming up for you. I feel like these emotions definitely need to be looked at because I think there's something greater within them. Yeah. All right, so then we have the Six of Wands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 is always about giving and receiving for me, and it's like this equal give and receive. This is the card that represents how you should be focusing on self right now through this full moon. And 6 is in a reversal. So we have like leader bug right here, and he's like, you know, leading all these other people's opinions, all these people's desires and things. And I feel like this is just like a timeout for you to step back and stop control. And I don't want to say controlling, but like leading so many people right now, having so many people rely on you. So many people feeding off of your fire almost. It's like this time to really go inward and figure out what these emotions are that are coming up for you. And it's going to be really hard if you don't take a step back from your position. So I kind of feel like you are either running your own business or you are like some head honcho at like a CEO type of bullshit, you know, like, you know, somewhere up in corporate ladder type of shit. Like you are leading something. I don't want to say like some CEO, you know, but you know, you are in some sort of leadership role, whether even you're like a stay-at-home mom or a father or a mother, or, you know, just like maybe the mother of your friend group. I just feel a lot of things going on like that you just need to take a step back from. Like there's a little bit of a retreat that needs to happen, because right now you're really going through like figuring out your own flame within. It's like you're like leading all these people with this big ass flame, like, you know, and like, I'm here, da da da, but like there's something, we need to get back to the beginning of some things. I'm not sure what. Hopefully that clarifies more, because I just keep feeling like you need to, there's like your inner child inside is just like really sad and really alone. Like it's just like there's so many people around. There's so many people around, and there's so many things to do, and there's so much that's going on, but you just feel so fucking alone. Yeah, you just feel so alone, so unheard. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. That really sucks. Like, no, that really sucks. Yeah, so I feel like this 8 of Cups actually is like, I don't have time for this. Like, I have so many things to do, and I don't have time to look at my emotions, and da-da-da-da-da-da. But you need to. That's the call with this full moon. All right, let's look into what the anger and frustration is calling out in you. So we have Knight of Swords. I love this little dragon guy that he's fucking riding, dude. It's like a dragon horse. It's got a dragon tail. Anyway, so the Knight, he comes in and he's like, dun, 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 I'm gonna save the day. I have this energy. I'm motivated. I'm passionate, and I'm going. And the swords are our tools. At this point in the minor arcana, we have gone through Ace and 10 of Swords. So we have learned through a lot of bullshit. Like we have learned the hard way, essentially. And now we're coming into this knighthood. We're walking into this really taking charge of our lives, taking charge of the way that we communicate, our perceptions, really expressing ourselves and cutting through the fucking bullshit. So your frustration and anger here is to show you the things that are just not in alignment to what you believe. And how you communicate even, like, or maybe like you need to express yourself more when you're angry and frustrated, or you really need to dive into those emotions, because those are the things that are propelling you forward right now to cut out the things that you don't need, and to help you communicate from a better and a more effective place. Because when we haven't dived into our emotions, when we haven't really taken the time to sit and feel how we need to feel, then it's really hard for us to express ourselves. It's really hard for us to really take charge. So I feel like that's what's going on. What will help with this release? The moon. So the moon is seeing things in disillusionment, you know, like seeing all these things. It's also that shadow work. It's also being deceived by someone. So I feel like there is something or someone that is not, like, that needs to go. That needs to go. For some people. Remember, these are all general readings. These are all, you know, for some people. I think for other people, this is a dive into the frustration and anger and seeing what belief is holding you back right now. What belief is like really stunting your growth? What belief is it, like your belief in yourself? Is it the belief of expressing your emotions? Is it the belief around anger? Is it the belief around fire? What is it? Because that's like all the things that this is telling me, is what belief system is an illusion? What needs to be pulled out? What needs to be getting rid of? And then I feel like an open door will happen for you when you really go in and look for this, because then our advice card is the Two of Pentacles reversed, which normally the Two of Pentacles is like unbalanced, really trying to figure things out, making a decision, really holding two, like juggling two things in your hands, and not moving forward. Twos are all about decisions. Where's the two on there? Twos are all about decisions. So making decisions, and really sticking to them. And we're in a reversal here. So I feel like this is like your advice is to find balance within self, to make a decision and not juggle too many different things and to move forward. So I feel like this is a lot, like if I just have to sum up this reading, it's like Hermit, which I don't understand why the Hermit didn't come out here, but man, like I would definitely say like this is the time to really go inward and see what illusions are puppeting you around, or even other people as well. Like, you know, who are you associating with yourself, and what kind of effect do they have on your life? And then also, what kind of belief system are you withholding, especially when it comes to like leadership or cooperation with other people, that you could expand on and you could maybe get rid of. That's what I'm feeling. Is there some sort of illusion? All right, and here's our advice Moonology card, which is expect powerful change. See, and that's the thing. When we start getting rid of like pillars of belief system, we have such a powerful impact, because it impacts everything in our life. It impacts almost every single decision, because when we actually pull out subconscious like fucking seeds or whatever, when we rip those out of there and we plant something different that's better for us, it will literally start growing and take over other, like it helps us to steer our own ship, our subconscious ship. So it's like when we actually plant good things in there, then we're steering ourselves in a better way, and that is very powerful. Alrighty. Alright, so last deck, we have our Earthlings, or if you are more called to this deck right here, let's get into this. So for the full moon next, all right, so we have death in reverse in our relationship. So this is supposed to talk about what we need to balance in our relationships, what's kind of going on there. And this is, let me feel into this a little bit. I don't know, Earthlings, I feel like you guys are being a little stubborn. I feel like you guys are being a little stubborn. There's some stuff that you just want to let go of. There's some stuff that you don't want to walk through. There are some relationships in your life that you are just like, fuck that. I do not want that in my life right now. There's some things that you're just avoiding, but you need to shift your perspective on it. because I think there's a lot of teaching in it. There's a lot of things, like, it's something to do with control as well. It's something to do with control. So you're having some issues because you want to control the situation, but this is going to be a situation that you're not going to be able to control. And this is actually going to be a death that's going to happen within you and not within your world. Because I think, yeah, the tower's on the bottom. So yeah, I feel like this is going to be a great big transformation within you and not you like killing off your relationships to other people. I don't see that at all. I see you really like having to shift perspectives. And that's because in order to get in touch with yourself more, we have the Emperor, which is control. It's leading people. So there's two ways that I'm reading this right now. And the first one is really taking control in your life. Just like fucking being like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to take control. I'm going to start saying what I need, what I want. I'm going to start leading. I'm going to start really doing some masculine stuff and making some moves. The other side of this I'm feeling is releasing control and seeing kind of where some dominance has happened almost. Some very big masculine dominance. I feel like that's for a very select people, but I feel like the other one I said about you really taking control of your life is the one that resonates with the bigger population that's watching this. Yeah, because whenever I see the Emperor, I always think like control. So then we have, what is your frustration, your anger trying to show you right now? It's the Moon. And this is, again, just like our last deck, the Moon is our illusion. So your anger, your frustration, your like grindy emotions right now are all about you seeing the disillusionment, you seeing the illusion, you seeing someone in or a situation in the wrong light a little bit. So it's like, you really need to start releasing these perspectives around things. Maybe it comes to I'm like feeling into like what it means to let go of self, let go of the container so much, let loose a little bit, what it means to be not so demanding, not so controlling, not so, yeah, see, okay, maybe it is you're being too controlling, you know, whatever resonates, you grab onto. This is a general reading, like I said, so whatever resonates, but like you really seeing the illusions of things, I think is what your anger is showing you, and even your fear, your anger, your frustration, your negative emotions right now that you're just like not liking, like the things you're not liking. So that's what they're showing you, and that's what they're trying to get you to release. We also have an owl here who is like, you will see things in 360 view soon if you let go of the illusion, if you let go of your messed up perception. And the way to do that is King of Cups. So build a container for your emotions. A lot of emotions are running high right now. A lot of these readings are about emotions at the moment, really diving into the depths of them. But that's kind of what we're being called to do, is let ourselves feel what is coming up from the surface, not just shove it back down, not just like kill it off, but let it bubble up. What is it here to teach us? What is it here for? Because our emotions are not just like random happenstances. They're a reason. They're either showing us a trigger within ourselves or they're showing us an unaligned situation. So really ask yourself, really sit down with yourself and make some time to really feel things out in a container. So when I see a King of Cups, he is someone that holds space for his emotions. He's in all this rocky water, but he's sitting very still and calmly. So it's almost like, you know, getting in touch with that part of you that can sit and hold space for yourself to feel things. And that kind of suck. But when you're dealing with a moon, like, you really need to go inward. You really need to trust your own intuition. You really need to trust yourself, because other people, you know, when you're in your moon, you're in a very vulnerable state because you are very confused. You are very confused. So don't go to so much go to other people. Really start diving into what you're feeling. And I think that's where your answers will lie. And then we have the Hangman reverse, which is your your advice card, which the Hangman reverse, I always feel like is shifting perspectives. Instead of seeing yourself hanging there, you are actually standing on a wire. You're standing on a crossroads. You are actually balanced. You're not just kind of in a void. You're not just, you know, like, what the fuck? I'm hung and I'm stuck. No. This is you really shifting perspectives and letting change, the Tower, letting change really come into your life and letting your change of perspective come in. Maybe saying, you know, I don't have all the answers. I don't know everything. Like, I do need some help. I do need someone to help guide me. I think that's kind of where you're at right now, is that, like, yes, you need to feel in your emotions, and you don't need to, when I say that, when I say I don't have the answers and I need someone to guide me, I feel like you need to clarify this real fast. I'm talking about therapy. I'm talking about therapy. I'm talking about one-on-one mentorship. I'm talking about, you know, someone else that has been here that can really help you guide through things. But I'm also talking about a perspective shift. So when we switch our perspective to, I don't know all the answers, I am not perfect, I am human, you know, I can't figure this out, I am confused, I obviously don't have control over the situation, and I really need to sit down and think and feel this out. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. And that's why I'm saying, like, therapist, mentorship, like someone that's going to be that level. I'm not talking about just going to, you know, your buddy Joe and drinking a few beers and telling him about your life. That's not what I'm talking about. Even though that can be very, very helpful at times. I'm just saying, be careful who you talk to. Be careful whose opinion you're letting in right now. I'm sorry, that was channeled as fuck. All right, moving on. So let's get an advice card for you guys. And I hope that made sense to someone. I hope that resonated for you guys. I hope you found something out of this. Oh, what is the advice card? What is our advice card? What is our advice card? Yay! And we got it. A time to give rather than take. Time to give rather than take. So, and whenever I see this in New Moon and Virgo, Virgos are very good at helping other people, and they are very good at, like, being very giving, but Virgos can also be over-giving. They could also be over-giving at times as well. So, I feel like you feel into that. I think it depends on where your Emperor is at. So really, when you dive into your emotions, ask where your Emperor is at. Are you being too controlling? Are you being too stubborn? Are you being too, like, this is how it goes, you know? And, like, not, and then thinking about killing off things because of that, because they do not fit into your little box, then you really need to start giving to other people a little bit more. You need to be giving them space, and you need to be giving them a little bit more room to grow, because not everyone's going to be the same as you. Not everyone is the same as you. Not everyone has the same heart as you, because that would be boring, you know, if we were all just the same fucking person running around. So if that's where your Emperor is at right now, where you feel that you are being a little bit too controlling, I'm not going to tell you if you are or not, but you really need to feel into that. Am I being too controlling? Then give rather than take. If you're feeling into this Emperor and you're like, I really need to take control of my life, I'm letting my, you know, autopilot kind of run on things, I am not taking charge, I am not, you know, then give to yourself rather than take energy from yourself. Okay? All right. I hope that made sense. I hope that everyone finds this full moon all right. And everyone enjoyed that. We will be doing a guided meditation for this full moon on the 20th, I think is when it's scheduled. It is. I also, on the 20th, have a podcast with Miss Eva. It's called the Heart to Heart podcast. I'm really excited about it. Ooh. Oh. All right. But yeah, so meditation on the 20th, I think it's at 7 p.m. Mountain Time for the full moon. We'll go through and we'll release everything from our chakras. You can take what you learned here today, if it resonated, into that meditation, and we can work with that. And then at the end, we write down what we're releasing with this full moon, and then we burn it or we get rid of it. It's a really great time. I am only going to do this for 2 more months for free on Facebook. That is it. So it'll be this month and next month. After that, we are doing some full moon release parties. Here in person, the first one in Loveland, Colorado at Black and Blues Music and Brews is going to be November 17th. And the second one is going to be December 17th. One is a Wednesday and one's a Saturday. So we're going to have Reiki, massage, tarot readings, a guided meditation, maybe some light yoga, and music. I think music. We're trying to work out that last thing. It's still a work in progress, but it's gonna be donation based. It's gonna be really fun. We want to get people together, socialize, like-minded people, and also help us with flowing with the energy that's at play. So really learning what a full moon ritual is and a release is and what that feels like. It's going to be an all-inclusive event as well. So if you're Wiccan, pagan, whatever, spiritualist, if you're nothing, if you're atheist, I don't care what you are. If you're Christian, come out. It's fun. It's a good time. It's great people. It's a good environment. So that's going to be happening, but since I'm going to be doing those full moon releases, I won't be doing the free meditations on here. What I am actually opening up, and I hopefully it will be open by January 1st or somewhere in mid-December, is a moon circle. So that will be on Zoom. We'll do a virtual. It'll be donation based, or maybe like $5 or something, and then we will get together and we'll do a meditation. We'll also do some card pulls. It'll be very limited seating as well, limited spots, but it's going to be way more intimate. It's gonna be great and I'm gonna love it. But I'm just feeling a call to really kind of create more of a container for people. I love doing these lives, but as you could see, we had tons of people in and out, and I can feel that energy, and I want us to be able to create a more secure container for that. So if you're interested, totally drop down in the comments. I'll make sure that you're notified about that. You'll see it on my Facebook, so make sure you're following, all that good stuff. I still will be doing the live pick a deck readings because these are actually for my YouTube. I just really like doing them live. So those will still be going on for the new and full moons, but all the meditations will be closed behind Zoom. So if you want to check out a meditation before you buy, you have this month and next month, and then they will go behind doors. Okay? Also, I want to talk about mentorship. So I am doing one-on-one mentorship. I have 2 spots left. This mentorship is not container built. This is more about what do you want to dive into. If you're a tarot reader, a medium, or you want to learn how, I guess, not if you're already these things, because you probably don't need me. We're probably on the same level at that point. But if you want to dive into tarot, mediumship, all of that great stuff, and actually have a guide you through, it was something that I didn't have when I was journeying in, and I wish I would have, because it would have elevated me and made my process a little bit more smoother, instead of always second guessing myself for months and months and months and months and months and months and months. So if you feel called to open up a container with me, DM me. I will send you all the info. The info is also over on the website. No pricings on there because I want to ebb and flow that with other people. I want to make this affordable for y'all. So just message me. Don't be afraid. We'll talk about it, whatever. But again, I have 2 more spots available for that. Or even mindset coaching. I'm a recovering drug addict, so that's another thing that I really work with, is people that are trying to get over addictions, and that could be people pleasing, that could be eating, that could be drugs, that could be whatever. So feel free to message me about any of that. Also, I just did my first teaching tarot workshop. It went really well. It was actually 3 hours long instead of an hour and a half, which, yeah, whatever. So it's pretty long. So I think the next step for me is to build a a workshop container. It's probably going to be 3 days long, and it's just going to talk about all the ins and outs of reading tarot intuitively. So if you would like to be a part of that, if you're not somewhere in Loveland, if you are somewhere near Loveland, I totally suggest coming to the in-person. It's a really cool environment. It's a really great energy. You get a free tarot deck and a drink. Like, it's a great time. But if you're somewhere else in a different state and still want to be a part of that, let me know. I'm going to build a Zoom class for it so we can get people in that are, you know, everywhere else. This isn't just about reading tarot cards either. This is really about accessing your intuitive muscle. It's exercising that muscle and learning how to utilize it, and then also follow and understand the symbology and the different ways that our intuition speaks to us. Tarot is just a tool of that, and it's, I feel like, one of the easier tools. It comes very natural to me. So that's why I want to feel like, or that's why I feel like I want to teach it to other people, because everyone can do it. Everyone can do it. It just takes a little bit of empowerment, and that's what I want to bring to people. But I think that's all I have. Thank you for joining my live or watching the replay. Y'all are great, and have a great day. Love y'all.